Hey, this is Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump, the Big Bad Booty Daddy, and you listen to IcoPod, the best podcast going today. Holler if you hear me.
And we're back with episode 94 of IcoPod. I'm Bob Conley Jr. With me, as always, is Austin Skinner. Austin, we're covering WWF 1994. And here we are with episode 94. Do you have anything else that is in relation to 94?
As a matter of fact, I do.
Holy shit, what do you got?
I was born in the year 1994.
Look at that. I think I moved to Syracuse in 94.
Oh, that's right, because you're from Massachusetts, right?
Damn right. You're damn right. I also, my mom and I are doing a suicide pool football thing where you have to pick a football team each week and then you move on or whatever. And I picked the 49ers, which I know is not 94, but there is a 9 and a 4 in it.
It's close. Yeah.
It's like the same thing, all of that. So,
why did you guys move?
I believe it was because my dad's entire family is here in Syracuse.
Okay.
And in Boston, it was mostly just my mom's like sisters. So my dad must have been like, my family's more important.
Right.
So screw you and your family, and like we're gonna chill in Syracuse. And then that's what happened. Do I wish sometimes that I maybe had stayed in Boston because like Boston has way more excitement attached to it? Like every day I could have been like, I'm going to a Red Sox game tonight, or I'm going to go see the Patriots play, and I'm going to go see the Celtics, and I got the Bruins. Or would I rather be in Syracuse where I can go like, I'm going to go see the Syracuse Mets play today, or like the Syracuse Crunch, and then I got nothing else because that's just what Syracuse has. Sure, the orange, whatever, basketball, football, football team has been good in 25 years. It's fine. It's great.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tend to forget that about you, Bob, that you're not actually a Syracuse-born native.
No, I'm not.
Will you ever leave Syracuse?
The older I get, the idea of ever leaving here sounds more appealing.
Really?
Yeah. Well, like I've said this before. Like I would, like if I were to move, I think it would always be Northeast.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't ever go to like fucking Texas or like New Mexico because I'd just melt. Like I sweat as it is. I sweat in bed in the winter.
And you're a big hairy man.
Right. That's not fun.
Right.
So I think for me, and I think I've talked to you about this before, like Philly for sure. And like Boston, just because I want there to be like options to do something every day.
Yeah, the Syracuse there is not.
You can't.
No.
It's just like, oh, I'm gonna go to Flamingo Bowl. Yeah, man, open bowl until 4. What? This is crazy.
It's so funny. Work. Yeah, and it's so funny you say that because like growing up, I would have never seen Syracuse as a small town.
Oh, it is.
Dude. Syracuse is a fucking small town.
Yeah, Sarah literally just texted me right next to me and told me that I'm trash.
You are.
Fuck you. Yeah, that's what?
Why did she? Where would she move? Does she ever want to move?
Do you ever want to move? Okay.
Getting the answers here, folks.
So she said her parents would have to go with her.
Oh.
Or if they're dead, and then she just kind of like, sure.
Ooh. Okay, so it sounds like you're getting a mother-in-law suite, dude.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, I just want to give some context here because Sarah's parents are, you could say, substantially older than normal parents.
Oh.
Yeah. So, you ever see that SpongeBob episode with the daughter and the old mom? when they're trying to sell chocolates.
Yeah.
Well, it's like that. Where the mom is like, 70 and then the grandmother's like 95. That's kind of what's going on with the mom and dad situation here. Like one of them is, 70 and the other one's like 85.
Oh.
That's not really that accurate at all, but they are older.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Yikes. I think my end goal, I always wanted to move to like Vegas and live on the outskirts of Vegas because I thought that would be fucking awesome. I love Vegas. I've only visited.
There's too many hookers in Vegas. I could never go there.
I see. For me, it's more or less. I always want to just live in the desert. Like isolation sounds great.
You want to live in a desert?
Yeah, fucking desert of Las Vegas. But realistically, speaking from somebody who's very family conscious, you can't really raise a family.
You're not family conscious at all.
Yeah, one day I want a family, man. I really do.
Well, in terms of your family today, like you didn't care. Dallas is like a brother. Hogan 98 is like a brother to you, and you just bailed on him.
Yeah, fuck that.
I'm like an older brother, and you just bailed on me.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, fucking bullshit. And then like you told your parents you moved to Orlando when you already were in Orlando.
That's not true.
I know that's not true, but that'd be pretty funny.
I
could tell you right now, dude. I could move to Philly tomorrow, and my dad, he texts me maybe once every 4 days, and it's always just like, "Go Vikings" or "Go Mets." There's no real substance to the conversation. I could move to Philly tomorrow. The next time he were to call me, he'd be like, "Hey, Bob, what's going on?" This could be like 2 years from now. But hey, Dad, what's up? Hey, man, you want to get something? Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'm in Philly. He'd be like, oh, like for like what, an Eagles game? I'm like, no, I live here. He'd be like, what? When did you move to Philly? I'm like, 2 years ago. Mom didn't tell you? And he's like, no. Like, well, if you had Facebook, you would know, but you don't have that, so I don't know what to tell you.
Literally,
I'm a horrible son. I wouldn't tell my own dad I moved to Philly for 2 years, just for the joke.
I mean,
the principle of a joke.
Yeah, there's some humor in that, and I think that there's also some truth in that. So I don't know if that's
the same father.
Cry, like I don't know.
The same father that I was like emotional wreck about because he had AFib, and like it was horrible seeing him like that. I wouldn't tell him for 2 years that I had moved just to get a laugh out of it.
Regardless, yes.
If I did that to my mom, she would hunt me down and kill me.
Yeah, I definitely get that inclining.
Yeah, she would for sure. She calls me just to hear my voice.
I feel like you kind of hear from your sister more than your dad.
Yeah, well, I hear from my sister more because my sister usually needs money.
Oh, yeah.
And she'll be like, hey, Bobby, what's going on? And I'll be like, how much do you need? And she'll be like, 120. I'll pay it back by the 5th. And I'll be like, all right. And I'll be like, here you go. What's your Venmo? And she'll be like, there it is. Great. There it is. Happens every time.
Yikes. Isn't your sister older?
Yeah, and she has like a substantially better career than I do, and she yet needs money from me.
Well,
she's a registered nurse.
Take it from
a manager in retail.
Yeah, take it from this podcast, guys. It's not always about the job.
She's making like, I don't know, 70 grand. It'll take me about 3 years to make 60. Like, give me a break.
That's all right, man. That's okay.
Right.
It just shows that you have your life more in order. That's all.
Well, I'm way cheaper than anybody else in my family.
Are you?
Yeah. Well, because we had this conversation before, and I told my mom this, and she was like, wow, that's like, I'm really impressed. If I buy something, let's say I bought something for, I don't know, $50.
Yeah.
I think in my brain, because that's where you do your thinking with your brain. In terms of work hours, how long is it going to take for me to pay that off? So like if I were to, and I know Sarah just was like, oh my God, I do the same thing. I know we've had this conversation. So like if let's say I had bought this television that I ended up getting for my birthday, it was like $900. Mm-hmm. I would have been at fucking Best Buy and I would be like, oh my God, shit. Oh my God, $900. Okay. All right. So you do that and I get that a week and then 2. So I'm looking at 1 paycheck, which is like 2 weeks. Fuck, that's not enough. Great. So like two 2.5 weeks. Okay, great. 2.5 weeks of work pays off for the TV. Great. Phenomenal. That's the type of stress I deal with every single day of my life.
Oh.
I went to McDonald's today with a LaFleur and I bought a $6 meal, like 2 hamburgers and a fucking fry. And I was just like, well, that's about 12 minutes of work. That's going to pay off for that $6.
What the fuck is the matter with you?
That's not even accurate. It's more so probably around 40 to 50 minutes worth of actual work that I'd have to pay that off. So if you are a listener and you're good at math, you could probably figure out how much I make an hour based off of what I just said. Remember, it was like a $6.55 meal. If that is about 40 to 50 minutes of my work, I'm pretty much telling you I make $8.50 an hour, which isn't accurate. So I don't know why I said that. But like, whatever. It's fine.
Regardless, you must be a maniac, because if I thought about that when I bought some of the things that I've bought recently,
Dude, it sucks.
yeah, I'd feel like a real shithead.
Yeah, it sucks.
So I don't do that. I just buy because money comes and money goes.
Yeah, see, that's a horrible. See, okay. I never thought like that. But then my buddy Billy was like, hey, man, when he was like, you got to have memories. Like, what are you going to do? Like, let's say you have money saved up, but then you die. What's that money for? And I wanted to tell him, well, it would be with like my family, like if I died, and like bills and stuff. But I was like, you're right. I do need to buy the complete Memphis wrestling TV series from 1986 until 2000. You're absolutely right. So let me just drop $450 on that, and look at me now. Yeah, I'm great. There's nothing wrong with the logic here.
No.
So that had transpired like last year. I did that. I didn't do that recently. I've done that already. So yeah, that was good. I'm very happy with the purchases I've made in my life.
That's so funny. See, I thought you were going a completely different way with that. Like,
No.
I went out of town for the weekend.
Well, like when I went to Florida, like
Yeah,
I did.
Yeah.
I did that. I did.
Yeah.
That was a thing I did.
I think you should do more of that.
I would like to.
Is Sarah a traveler?
Sarah, are you a traveler? She would like to be. Oh God, you know what? Don't get me started with this traveling bullshit. She is determined for us to go to Disney.
Mm.
Don't say no. Because Disney's like $4,000.
Are you fucking what the fuck are you talking about?
She's gonna want to go to restaurants. She's gonna want to go on the rides. She's probably gonna want to buy a princess, like a full size one. And you can't have that as a carry-on, so you gotta ship it back, and it's gonna be a whole fucking thing. Like,
you're right then. Yeah, you're looking at about $4,000 then.
Yeah, you're looking at a substantial amount. A hotel.
Yeah,
right?
if you want to stay on Disney property.
If you want to stay on Disney thing, that's like probably $1,200 an hour, and I'm fucked. I can't afford that. She just said it's actually cheapest to be whatever.
I think you guys are gonna go to Disney and you're gonna propose to her.
No.
You're in love with this girl.
No.
This is the end all be all.
No. No.
Yep. Look at him. He's avoiding looking at me. He just doesn't want to face it.
I'm watching a great television show.
Oh, yeah. You motherfucker, you.
Yeah, I am. It's a phenomenal television program.
For everybody who doesn't know who Bob is as an actor.
Okay, on to some observer notes.
Bob is a hopeless romantic.
I am not.
And that is something that he's probably completely considered already.
No. Nope. That one you're way off on. That is not.
So, when I'm talking Disney Castle, I'm talking about fucking popping the question.
No.
So, get ready for that one.
I'm not getting married until I'm about 45.
Oh, yikes. So, you got 2 years to go.
2 years to go, you son of a... No. bitch.
How does it feel to have a co-host that's significantly younger than you?
You're
are?
not significantly younger than me.
How old am I, Bob? You tell me.
You are 25.
Okay, now how old are you?
I am 30.
Oof. Just think, when I was a baby.
I am mentally 17.
No, I wouldn't say that. You're like 23.
23 mentally. That makes me younger than you.
Right.
So how does it feel to have a younger co-host than you? This is great.
You son of a bitch. How the tables have turned. No, man. I just I think traveling's important. I think spending a little money every now and again is important, especially if it's.
I've done quite a bit of traveling this year.
Yeah, I think that's good for you, Bob.
I went to Washington. I went to Lake Placid. I went to Florida.
Right.
That's pretty much it. But that's more.
You went to North Carolina recently.
That was a few years ago. That was 2015.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
where have I been?
I don't know. I don't know where you've been.
Oh.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Sarah and I might go to Boston this coming up spring to go see a Red Sox game.
I'll tell you what, man.
Fenway.
And I'll tell you what. I'm not even really a baseball guy. I'm not even a sports guy. And going to Fenway was fucking awesome.
Fenway's a great ballpark.
Super cool.
I'm glad that I've been to Fenway and Wrigley. And I went to Wrigley in Chicago before they did the renovation. So it was like the real, like...
OG.
Yeah, this is from like 1908. Like
Wow.
the legitimate Wrigley Field. So...
Yeah, see, that's cool. And like I said, I can appreciate stuff like that, even though I'm not really like a sports fan.
Right.
I think shit like that's cool. So yes, more travel, more spending money, and
Are we doing WrestleMania in Tampa or what?
Fucking A, man.
Or should we just go to Tampa for all the other shows and then watch WrestleMania at your apartment like any normal person? Because realistically, the idea of sitting at an arena in Tampa for 7 hours for a program that I don't even watch weekly, that's going to be real tough.
That does sound pretty brutal.
Yeah, that sounds pretty bad.
I think you guys should come down here and we should do the spot shows. I think that's an awesome idea.
I would do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Yes, I think that would be super cool.
Yeah.
So
I think that'd be a lot of fun. Because I know with New York, Dallas wanted to do it. What is it? What did you just send me? Oh, Carl. Oh, that's cute. Sorry, Sarah just sent me something from the movie Up. That was adorable.
Yeah, it's talking from the guy who's not popping the question at Disney. Okay.
Anyway, what was my train of thought here? Oh, Dallas wanted to do a whole bunch of shows like in New York, and then like 2 or 3 months before the show, I was like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna go to WrestleMania.
Yeah. He was pissed.
I know he was, and I was just like, because come on, that would have easily have cost us both $1,500 to $2,000.
I was gonna say $2,000 probably.
Like at least, and it's just like for WrestleMania for something I don't care about.
Right.
And I understand it's like, the moment or the memory or whatever. But I would have been sitting there for 6 hours like, oh my God, is this thing fucking done yet? Like, I don't want to.
Right.
The best seat in the house is just on your couch watching on TV.
Yeah, because you didn't spend $2,000.
Right. Just like that one Ring of Honor show we went to, and the fucking pole was right in my eyesight. Like, I could have just watched it on pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, no, I'd be totally down for Tampa. I think it'd be a cool thing. And Tampa's really not that far away from me.
How far away is it from you?
I would say an hour and a half.
Oh, that's not bad. So it's like to Rochester.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good comparison. Mm-hmm.
It's not bad.
My plans is to visit Tokyo, Japan.
Wow.
In January 2021 for a Tokyo Dome show.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, I'd have to get my passport if I wanted to go with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna invest because I want to do some more traveling too. I'm kind of I have the bug. Like I went to Vegas 2 years ago now. And that was like a big trip from Syracuse to Vegas. It's almost cross country. But I think it's time I got out and saw some international sites because I haven't traveled really at all. And once you have a family, man, it's kind of over.
Yeah, it's impossible to do it.
Yeah. So as I march closer and closer to the age where like that should be a realistic thought, I should probably do some traveling and like see stuff that I think's cool.
Yeah.
So that's kind of on my radar because I was going to go a couple of years ago. I didn't end up saving enough money and put it off. I'm done putting it off. I want to go to a fucking Tokyo Dome show. So that's kind of my tentative plan. I'm saying January 2021. That gives me almost over a full year to start saving up.
I should probably just move to Buffalo because I could at least go to Bills or Sabres games.
And flights out of Buffalo are a lot cheaper than flights out of fucking Syracuse.
Well, there you go.
So,
And
you're near Canada?
I am near Canada. I could go to a Blue Jays game, Maple Leafs. What am I doing? I need to move.
Yeah.
This place sucks. All right. Well, let's get on with this show, the ever exciting IcoPod. Same show where I want to rip my eyeballs out after what I watch on television for 45
Way
minutes.
to fucking sell it.
That's
man.
what I'm just being honest. All right, let's get right into it. We got some rumors going around the WWF offices. And those rumors are that the Ultimate Warrior and Sid Vicious will be returning to the company.
Dun, 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 dun,
shockingly, the Warrior rumor doesn't have much credibility attached to it. However, according to sources, Sid is open to returning, but only if he is the top guy.
Of course.
That doesn't surprise me either. So that could be totally the case. I think last time somebody tried to make him the top guy, he proceeded to stab Arn Anderson with scissors and nearly killed him in a hotel in England. So maybe you got to pick and choose your battles, Sid. But we'll see.
You fuck with the psycho, you get the stabbo. You know what I mean?
You're speaking truths.
Yeah. And you know what? I think kind of like we talked about last week. So big guys getting lost in the shuffle. I do think that Sid is one of those guys where he wouldn't. And I don't know why. Because realistically, he's pretty generic. Like in the ring, there's nothing special. Look-wise, he looks like a fucking monster. But really, it's basic trunks, basic boots. So for all those reasons, he should probably just kind of fall in the shuffle if he were to come and like get a big to-do and then just kind of like flounder out. Like that's realistically what should happen. But I feel like with Sid, it would be different. I don't feel like he'd get lost in the shuffle.
I don't think he could. I mean, the guy's 6'11", 320. How does he get lost in the shuffle?
Yeah.
Yeah. If he gets lost in the shuffle, you probably should be fired.
Well, I mean, you can say that Giant Gonzalez was fucking 7'7" or whatever. Like, how'd he get
Giant Gonzalez was in a bodysuit with fake hair and sprayed on muscles.
Yeah.
People are trying to bury him in the damn shuffle. They don't want to just have him lost. They want him buried and burned and never to be seen again.
Yeah.
Which ironically kind of happened, but who's really keeping count? That's horrible. Sid is a great character.
Yes.
He's like the more 100%. He's the more entertaining version of Lex Luger.
I don't know if Lex Luger is a good comparison. Oh, in the ring, you're saying?
So I'm saying,
in the ring for sure.
Luger isn't entertaining as a character, and he's not entertaining in the ring. Sid is entertaining as a character, but he's not very good in the ring.
I think they're comparable in the ring as far as boringness.
Sure. Well, Sid can't do much. And if he tries to jump off the middle rope, he breaks his leg in half.
Exactly.
So.
Whereas Lex, if he wrestles in the ring, he breaks his forearm in half.
Right.
So pretty comparable, but same. I do think though, like you said, I think Sid's character completely carries him throughout his career. So maybe, and that's maybe why I don't think he'd get lost in the shuffle, because you can't really ruin that. Sid's Sid, regardless. Yeah. He is who he is. So yeah, you're probably right with that. So yeah, I would be interested in Sid coming in, even though he's another big guy. I think they could get some use out of him, whether they used him as a face or a heel. I think he'd be a good insert.
He needs to be. They need a heel. He needs to be there as a heel.
Yeah.
Win the gold sometime after WrestleMania 11 and be the main heel for WrestleMania 12. Go from there.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
The only other piece of news I have is that last week's edition of Raw, which featured British Bulldog returning on King's Court and Razor Ramon defending the IC belt against Tatanka, got a 2.6 rating.
Oh, we're up, folks.
Yeah, not much of a jump from the Drosy Jerry Lawler episode, but a little bit of an upswing. Let's go into some house show notes. The first one took place in Niagara Falls, New York for the World Wrestling Federation at the Civic and Convention Center on October 1st, 1994. And it drew 7,500 fans, which
wow.
I feel like is a considerable amount compared to the last several months. The card featured the following matches. The Bushwhackers taking on Well Done, Adam Bomb battling the Executioner, Mabel in singles action against Quang, Jeff Jarrett squaring off against Bob Holly, the WWF Tag Team Champions Shawn Michaels and Diesel defending against the new Head Shrinkers, WWF Women's Champion Alundra Blaze defending against Bull Nakano, WWF World Champion Bret Hart defending against Jim Neidhart, and in your main event, The Undertaker squaring off against Yokozuna in a casket match.
So really, it's nothing stand out.
It's pretty similar to like last week's. The undercard's different.
Yeah.
For the most part.
I guess maybe because they're like right on the Canadian border, they were able to kind of bring in more people. I don't know. I feel like that's a very high attendance number for something that's relatively run of the mill at this time.
Maybe Niagara Falls doesn't get a whole lot of the action.
Could be. Yeah, could be. I got to say that I'm probably skipping this week. Well,
I feel like I went to last week's. And since
so you're not missing anything. Yeah.
So the undercard, but the undercard is like a little different.
It's a little better.
But here's the thing. The Bushwhackers?
Yeah.
Quang?
Right.
The Executioner?
Yeah.
The other one I would have missed like 2 matches. This one I'm missing like 3 or 4. So I think I'll dip out on this one.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily need to see it because I already mostly saw it. Let's go to the land of Extreme Championship Wrestling in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at the ECW Arena, October 1st, 1994. It drew 850 fans. The card featured the following matches. Matt Bourne taking on Ray Odyssey. Ian and Axel Ryan squaring off against the Pitbulls. Stevie Richards squaring off against the Rockin' Rebel. ECW television champion Jason defending against Hack Myers. Dean Malenko competed in a handicap match against Dino Sendoff and Don E. Allen. Tommy Dreamer battled the Sandman in an I Quit match. ECW World Champion Shane Douglas defending against Too Cold Scorpio. Chris Benoit in singles action against Sabu. And the main event saw ECW Tag Team Champions Cactus Jack and Mikey Whipwreck defending against Public Enemy.
Yeah, I'm going to that show.
Yeah, I feel like you kind of have to, don't you?
Yeah.
Like compared?
There's even like random shit in there that I'm kind of interested in. Fucking the Rottens versus the Pitbulls. Like that's probably going to be a fucking shit show.
That's a bloodbath and a half.
Yeah, like I'm ready for that.
Yeah.
Scorpio Shane Douglas, absolutely.
Benoit Sabu.
What was some more of the earlier matches? I feel like there was another one that stood out to me.
Matt Bourne and Ray Odyssey.
Yeah, like you want to go to see Matt Bourne because like what the fuck is he doing now?
Yeah, there's
that would interest me.
Dreamer and Sandman and I Quit.
Sure, which is early in another stipulation match that you can probably expect some crazy shit to go down.
Yeah. I'm checking.
Yeah, I'm
this one
going
out.
to that show for sure.
Yeah. And the last one here is USWA. I feel like I'm going to start incorporating USWA cards just because they seem to be so out there that they're kind of entertaining. This one took place on October 3rd, 1994 in Memphis, Tennessee at the Mid-South Coliseum, drawing 1,650 fans, which is a gate of about $8,900. And the card featured the following matches: Buddy Landel taking on Eliminator Cronus, Eliminator Saturn squaring off against Jeff Gaylord, Moondog Rex battling Spellbinder Doug Gilbert in singles action against Moondog Spot, Jerry Lawler battling Tommy Rich, Buddy Landel against Eliminator Saturn, Moondog Rex against Doug Gilbert, Tommy Rich against Brian Christopher, Tommy Rich against Moondog Rex. Tommy Rich squares off against Buddy Landel for the vacant USWA championship. So if you couldn't guess, that's a tournament, ladies and gentlemen. I wasn't just rambling off matches just for the hell of it. PG-13 and Miss Texas taking on the Phantoms and Fantasia. Randy Hales taking on Scott Bowden. And the main event featured Doug Gilbert and Sid Vicious against Jerry Lawler and Brian Christopher in a stretcher match.
I don't want to admit this.
Oh boy.
But I'd probably go to that show too.
You really would?
Yeah, because
there's 13 matches on that show.
That's what I'm saying. You're getting a tournament. You're getting a stretcher match. Sid's on the card. Jerry Lawler and Brian Lawler are fucking tagging up.
Are you talking me into this right now?
I don't know, man. I think I'm going to that bullshit ass show.
Oh, all right. If you're gonna go, I'll go too.
Yeah.
Why not? It's the USWA. I have a soft spot in my heart for the USWA at this point.
So yeah, I'm gonna try it out.
All right, fine. I'll go with you then. We'll have a grand old time. There is really nothing of note for syndication. There was like a Lex Luger promo where he was like, I'm gonna make Tatanka eat his words, whatever, basic shit. Really nothing going on, and there's no featured matches because, who cares? It's just syndication.
You can tell we're really on a roll here, folks.
Well, they only care about like Action Zone in a couple of weeks. They don't care about Superstars and Wrestling Challenge anymore. Who cares? They don't care.
Guys,
who cares? The October 3rd edition of Monday Night Raw is taped, and we're still from Utica, New York. And the show starts off with Raw opening up with a video package, hyping up Jim Neidhart and British Bulldog, which is taking place later tonight. Earlier tonight, as my phone's talking to me, I already picked my guy.
What the hell?
I'm doing a fantasy basketball draft, and it's like talking to me. Like, relax. I just picked my guy. This is ridiculous. All right. Anyway, edit that out, Bob, in post-production.
Yeah, you won't.
I won't. I won't. Don't worry. Raw opens up with a video hyping up the Jim Neidhart British Bulldog match. Again, that's taking place later tonight. Earlier tonight, Jim Neidhart and Owen Hart showed up to the arena and cut a promo on Bulldog. Neidhart says that Bulldog will respect him tonight, goddammit. He didn't say goddammit. I added that in. We got a Raw opening video, and then we go to Vince McMahon and Randy Savage, who hype up what will be seen on the show tonight, which is mainly kind of what I've already mentioned. How excited are you right now for Davey Boy and Jim Neidhart? Because that's our first match.
Well, let me tell you this. So before they cut into the opening video and we get this Davey Owen thing, this bullshit ass rental car pulls up into the parking lot, and it's almost like it's kind of swerving, and then it just fucking jerk stopped. And out comes Bulldog as the fucking driver. You imagine British Bulldog driving you around in a goddamn rental vehicle? That's funny shit.
Bulldog was driving?
Bulldog was fucking driving. Or, I mean,
No,
Anvil.
Owen.
Anvil
Anvil
was driving.
was? Okay.
Yeah, so Anvil's driving. Owen comes out of the passenger seat, And these two fuckers. So Anvil he just goes, let the games begin. It's like, this is fucking ridiculous. So imagine Jim the Anvil Neidhart fucking driving around. He's fucking swerving through the parking lot and pulls up to the camera or like slams on the brakes. It's just so ridiculous. And then Owen comes out like nothing. He's in a full windbreaker outfit because it's 1994. Just the pure ridiculousness of the whole thing was not lost on me. If it's me, I'm letting Owen Hart drive over Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
That is exactly what I got.
Yeah.
Owen should have been driving.
Owen should have been driving. So I don't know. It's funny shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess we can just get right into it. I'm trying to wait until my next pick here in the fantasy basketball draft, but
well, I should answer your question first. Am I excited to see a British Bulldog match?
Probably not.
Jim Neidhart match? No, I'm not.
You just don't know how to have fun.
I want to see a British Bulldog match, but I don't want to see a Jim the Anvil Neidhart match.
But you should want to see it, is what I'm saying.
No, I don't.
Yeah, but I know you don't, but I'm saying you should.
Bob Backlund in action tonight. Are we excited about that?
I'm excited for the character.
I think you're excited about him being in action.
I'm not excited about Bob Backlund being in action. If this was the 1993, no, if this was the 1993 Royal Rumble,
you're excited?
Yeah, I'm probably like Bob Backlund, main event WrestleMania. Let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah, fuck off with that.
You're a hater. You're just
of in-ring Bob Backlund. Absolutely, I am.
I don't understand why you are just hating on it so much. All right. Well, for some reason, these guys are taking 9 hours to draft. So I'm just going to start talking. And then if I suddenly go like, oh my God, wait, I got to do this pick. It's because I have $50 writing on this. And that's pretty important. Oh, okay. They did a quick thing. Who should I take? Do you know?
For basketball?
Yeah.
Paul Pierce.
He's retired.
Oh.
So that makes no sense. I guess I'll just take the best available. Great. All right. So here we go. Opening contest is Davey Boy Smith against Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Neidhart attacks Bulldog from behind as Owen got on the apron. Neidhart with several clubbing blows, but Bulldog comes off the ropes with a leaping shoulder block to knock Neidhart to the floor. Bulldog controls Neidhart with a side headlock, and then he hip tosses Neidhart. Neidhart stops Bulldog with an uppercut, but is taken down with a drop toe hold. Neidhart reaches the ropes to force Bulldog to let go of the armbar. Tests his strength, sees Neidhart get the upper hand, and he kicks Bulldog in the midsection a few times. Bulldog gets out of the hold with a dropkick, and he takes Neidhart over with a side headlock. Bulldog trips Neidhart and has a leg lock on him. He quickly yanks on Bulldog's hair to break free from it. Because remember, Bulldog has long hair now.
Yeah, I don't
Neidhart, no one likes it. Neidhart sends Bulldog hard back first into the corner. Neidhart has a Cobra Clutch sleeper, but Bulldog is able to get out of the hold pretty quickly. Bulldog delivers a knee lift, but Neidhart isn't affected. But it seems like Bulldog hurt himself on the move. Neidhart has a reverse chinlock on Bulldog, but again, Bulldog elbows out of it. Bulldog comes off the ropes, but Owen yanks on the top rope, and Bulldog falls to the floor. WWF World Champion Bret Hart makes his way down to the ring as Raw goes to a commercial. Neidhart chokes Bulldog across the middle rope as Bulldog has an injured right knee at this point. Neidhart drops Bulldog throat first across the top rope, and they trade right hands until Neidhart eye rakes Bulldog to gain control. Neidhart has a bear hug locked in right in the middle of the ring. He then lets go of the hold and stomps away on Bulldog's injured right knee. Bulldog kicks Neidhart away in the corner and connects with a running clothesline for a 2 count. Neidhart has a leg lock on Bulldog to continue his work on the injured knee. Neidhart puts on a camel clutch, and Bulldog is able to break free. Actually, Neidhart gives a shot to the face to Bulldog after having the hold on there. Neidhart misses a knee drop, leaping off the middle rope. Bulldog with a series of clotheslines, and then he connects with a vertical suplex for a 2 count. Bob Backlund at this point walks down to the ring as Owen Hart knee drops Bulldog, who was attempting a sunset flip on Neidhart, and that causes a disqualification. After the match, Neidhart and Owen are sent into each other, and that allows Bret and British Bulldog to stand tall in the ring. I believe there was an interaction between Brett and Backlund on the floor that I didn't note here, but I do remember they kind of like cut to it to see what they were talking about prior to the commercial or something like that. But here we are. We get a DQ finish, kind of similar to the Razor Tatanka match. Why are we booking this if we don't want either man to lose? Clearly, Jim Neidhart is apparently on the verge of being a number one contender for the WWF World Championship, which I don't know how that's transpired, but it has. So you're naturally not going to have him lose Davey Boy Smith, nor are you going to have Davey Boy Smith lose his first Raw match to Jim the Anvil Neidhart. I was mostly bored by this. It was probably better than Tatanka and Razor, but not much.
Yeah.
But I was mostly pretty bored by this, and kind of a bummer for a, I guess, return debut match for Davey Boy Smith on Raw. What did you think of Davey Boy against Jim Neidhart?
I think you made a super good point. It feels a lot like a parallel universe. It's kind of opening the same way Raw did last week. Kind of middle of the road match with a damned if you do, damned if you don't finish. So for me, okay, first of all, Jim's coming out to no reaction. Nobody cares about Jim the Anvil Neidhart. And the fact that Owen's like associated with him directly, it just really sucks to feel like Owen has already fallen down several pegs since SummerSlam. That bums me out huge. With that said, I did like how Bulldog kept like toying with Owen on the outside, kind of giving him the eyes, yelling little comments to him. I don't like how Bulldog at one point had to drop kick out of a test of strength with Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, when Anvil was in control, dude, you're hearing people yell boring, which sucks, you know, because now Bulldog's kind of getting roped into that. Second half of the match here was basically holds, a lot of like stalling. And I just love how every time Owen sees a camera, though, he yells into it. Like Owen always has something for the camera. So I think he does add to the match by taking away from the match a little bit because it's not great. We're not having a great match here. Like you said, though, Bob Backlund does come out. He pushes Brett, and they get it kind of in each other's face a little bit. So with Brett distracted, of course, Owen goes in, causes a DQ. It was a decent match for what it was. I mean, it's Bulldog facing Anvil. But I'll tell you what, this didn't make Bulldog look like an A+ star by any means.
No.
So if that's their intention with Bulldog, they dropped the ball big time with this. So I don't know. I'm confused on the direction moving forward because if Bulldog is going to be somebody who we're meant to think might be on to bigger and better things after this whole quarrel with the family, I don't think that's the purpose that was served here tonight. So I don't know. I'm just a little worried.
I feel like I would have rather this. How am I going to word this and make it not sound brutally mean? There's no value in Jim Neidhart in a singles role.
Correct.
There's just none.
Correct.
The fact that they're doing this as an attempt to make him clearly a number one contender, whether it just be for house shows or anything, I don't see him challenging on pay-per-view for the title. I mean, I would fucking hope not. But you never know. Who knows with the WWF at this point? I would have rather just have been 5-6 minutes. Bulldog fights off Owen and Neidhart, and he pins Neidhart with the running power slam. Fairly dominating contest. And you try to build Bulldog as, you know, as in a babyface role moving into 95.
Yeah.
You know, I know that he's got, you know, he's all jacked up and maybe we're not too keen on him based on what we saw in WCW, but having it be the match that it was, which was, it wasn't 50-50. It was more like 60-40 Neidhart.
Yeah.
Maybe even 70-30.
Yeah.
Is not doing him any favors whatsoever.
No, it's not good.
So, you know, seeing that, it just kind of, it threw me for a loop. And, you know, you look at it, if he's having a tough time with Jim Neidhart, the next time I see him in a match, let's say with Shawn Michaels on the house shows or something,
There's
any
no way he's winning.
well, there's no way he's winning, but is it going to draw fans in? Because you're going to sit there and be like, well, they took him 12 minutes to lose or to beat Neidhart by DQ on Raw. Am I really going to care about him and Shawn Michaels?
Right.
So I feel like they're trying to invest too much into the Hart family feud and investing as a result too much into Neidhart. And I think that's really unfortunate, but.
Yeah, and you know what? I think I agree with you as far as that goes, because thinking about it, it's almost like Owen and Neidhart switched booking sheets. Like, realistically, the last couple of weeks, Owen Hart should have been in that spot. And really, Jim Neidhart should have been playing the role he played at King of the Ring this whole time. Just like the annoying sidekick guy that can step in and help if he needs to, but, like, has nothing to do with the spotlight whatsoever. That's the role that Jim Neidhart needs to be playing. And the fact that Owen and him have almost switched, done a role reversal, I just really don't think that's a good idea. And I don't think it's playing as a good idea. Because if you insert Owen with this Bulldog thing, even going back to last week on King's Court, I think you're getting a completely different result. Something that I might be able to get invested in. This, I'm not into it. It's like two supporting characters of a play going head to head when you know, like, the main villain should be involved, but instead it's like his sidekick. And it's like, well, who cares?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't even know what I can compare it to. I just know that this Jim Neidhart push may go down as one of my least favorite things that we've ever came across so far on this show.
It's a perfect example of bad WWF casting.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I want to know who in their right mind in their booking meetings was like, guys, we need a challenger for Brett. All right, cool. Jimmy, what do you got? Kid Kong Bundy. Great, sign him up. Hey Paul, who do you got? How about Neidhart? Yeah, fucking great. How about Sid? No, don't bring in Sid yet. No, not gonna work out. Probably a bad decision. Like, what? Let's hold off on that one, guys. Let's go with Bundy and Neidhart. Might be able to turn business around. Great.
No, I know. That's absolutely right. So I don't know. I'm hoping that with this whole debacle with the four of these guys, it gets solved and we get better feuds out of it. We do get an Owen Bulldog, or we do get more of Owen Brett. You know what I mean? Just stuff that I can actually invest in. I'm not invested in a sidekick fucking Bulldog Anvil feud. Not invested in that. Especially if it's not treated as a sidekick fight. It's treated as the feature fight. It's like, no.
Yeah.
Fuck that. No.
And again, like you've mentioned too, it's really kind of disconcerting that Owen Hart is being so pushed to the wayside. That's kind of,
dude, it's crazy.
Really unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't like it.
We get a video of the WWF saying that they will never go on strike, which of course is a jab at Major League Baseball because they did in fact go on strike. They don't really have the option though to go on strike in the World Wrestling Federation since the wrestlers, they don't have a thing called a union to even do that. So if they were to be like, hey, we're going on strike, the WWF can be like, well, none of you guys are going to get paid. Have fun with all of that. They have no protection, no health benefits, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So of course the WWF though, they don't mention that part, but it's okay. They'll never go on strike.
Yeah. And then it's painted as like I don't know what's with all the jabs to the MLB lately. Like Vince has a vendetta against the MLB.
Yeah. I feel like if anytime there's like negative publicity for anyone else, he will snatch up on that real quick because it's not on him.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, because the Abe Knuckleball Schwartz thing. Yeah. Now we're going to do vignettes that say, oh, we don't have an off season. You know, we don't let our kids down and we're the real heroes. because WWF will always be here for you. I don't know. I don't know where Vince is getting off on these fucking MLB digs. Because it's like now it's going to be more and more. So I don't know. It's just weird. It just doesn't look good. It doesn't age well. It doesn't really come off as cute, you know. So I don't know. I don't like that.
Yeah, it doesn't come off as, you know, this comes really petty to me.
Very petty. For no reason.
None whatsoever. Let's go right into our second contest. It's Doink. He's taking on Barry Horowitz. And luckily for us, Doink is able to win the match following the whoopee cushion. I'm not really a big fan of Doink the Clown, but here we are, still getting it shoved down our throats. What did you think here of Doink's little exhibition against Barry Horowitz?
You ever seen Eastbound and Down?
I actually have I don't know how many seasons there were, but I have 3. I think I have 3 of them.
Barry
it looked entertaining, but I haven't really watched it.
Barry looks like Kenny Powers to a fucking T.
I mean, yeah, he could.
It's super funny. Season 1, by the way, of Eastbound and Down, beautiful, very funny. Yeah, it's very good. I've only seen a couple episodes of season 2, but I fell off the wagon rather quick. But season 1's very good, so I would definitely, if you do actually own that, I would watch it.
I do. I actually have not ever watched it, so.
Yeah, so definitely do that. But that's like one of the main things that jumped out of my mind here because I could care less about Doink or anything else that he's doing. I think what I hate the most now at this point is that when Doink hits the whoopee cushion, which kind of looks like a devastating move, they totally kill it by playing like a fart effect.
Oh my God, yes. They've done this before.
Yeah. And like, it's fucking horrible. Because then Vince sells it. He's like, oh my goodness, excuse me.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I hated that.
This is weekend wrestling shit on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah,
like you're promoting Monday Night Raw as uncooked, uncensored, and uncut. Throwing in a fart noise effect on a whoopee cushion finish totally throws that credibility out the fucking window. Get that shit out of here. It's not funny. It comes off so bad. It makes a joke out of everything. I just am so sick of that shit, man.
It's fine. Don't even worry about it.
That's some Sunday morning slam shit right there.
I don't even know if it's like that level. It's like worse.
Yeah.
It certainly shouldn't be on freaking Raw.
No.
So
that's something you can do like a couple of times live on the house show and play a fart over the house mic.
I don't even know
pop the crowd.
I don't even know if you could do it then because I feel like people would just walk right out.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know.
But you do not do it. You do not do it on Raw.
No, under no circumstance do you. We get a video from Superstars where Paul Bearer and Undertaker cut another promo regarding Undertaker wrestling Yokozuna on the Heart Attack Tour.
It's like the same thing.
Literally, Taker tells Yokozuna next time he looks into Taker's eyes, Yoko will be looking up from the casket. Clearly, there's a lot of depth for this continued storyline and angle. Really nothing more to kind of comment on.
Yeah.
So I've had my fair share of fun with these King's Courts, but Austin, how about you take away this one with Jerry Lawler and his guest?
Oh, I would be happy to.
Great.
So here we go. We get King's Court really quick, though. King's here to set the record straight. He says he can't stand Doink and he can't stand Dink. They're both liars, and he can't stand liars. To which Savage says on commentary, "Look in the mirror, brother." So you're like, yeah, that's ironic, King, because that's exactly what you are. So I appreciated that. Savage is getting like riled up here by Lawler. Then he says, put me in the ring, Tunney, after a couple more jabs. So like he's got them all worked up. So they're obviously like buying a little time here. Yokozuna finally comes out with Mr. Fuji and Jim Cornette, who I feel like we haven't seen in a while. So I was interested to see Jim again. Cornette basically says that the real issue here is that Undertaker is just scared of Yokozuna. He says that the casket matches, we don't want to call it that. It's a box with a lid on it, and one guy's got to be put in the box after being incapacitated. We're not going to mention what it's called, because saying directly the word casket basically turns Yokozuna into a 12-year-old girl, as if she's just seen a New York City sewer rat run across her feet. King lets the word casket slip. And Cornette says, no, please don't say that anymore. Cornette says that Yoko is the only man that has laid Undertaker to rest. And King again mentions a casket. Yokozuna gives him a wicked fuck you look. So King shuts up quick. And Yoko is sweating big time as he then realizes he's sweating like a fucking maniac, and then smears it on the camera lens as it comes close to him. Cornette promises a repeat of the Royal Rumble and that Undertaker will rest in peace. The amount of times that Yokozuna played his role as a cartoon character in this one simple King's Court was enough to make your fucking head spin off your shoulders. And usually, Cornette can kind of save it and throw some legitimacy into things. But Cornette was making it worse here. Because he's going, oh, no, Yoko, no, he didn't mean that. He doesn't mean that. That's not what he's talking about. King, just stop, King. King, please stop. Are you fucking kidding me? You're telling me this 650-pound sumo guy is petrified, deathly afraid of the word casket. Not the image of one, not, being stuffed inside. Just the simple word makes him fucking jump. I just don't know what to say to that.
Well, it's like what I stated before. It's Andre the Giant is afraid of snakes, or anybody ever is afraid of snakes. And that's why every feud with Jake Roberts was just that, about a snake. This one is I think every feud for The Undertaker since WrestleMania 8 has been Kamala is afraid of caskets. Giant Gonzalez is kind of spooked out by the dark, and he doesn't want to be in a casket. He doesn't know the rules or whatever. Yokozuna, which has now been going on for almost a whole year, has just been about a casket, and then afraid of caskets. And of course, you have the Undertaker, the fake Undertaker whole deal. That's the only one that's been different. But
and you saw how that turned out,
right? Horribly. So they have a crutch, which is the fear of caskets,
right?
And that's what they're just gonna hold on to for as long as they possibly can.
Yeah, it's pretty pathetic here. I was really kind of disappointed, especially with Cornette, not adding to the legitimacy. But I guess, what are you supposed to do? If that's what they're going with, you got to just make the best of it. So you can't really blame the guy. But at the same time, dude, this is all bullshit. Yokozuna looks like a bitch ass. And and I still don't give a fuck about Undertaker. Because they don't give a fuck about Undertaker. So I'm just...
They clearly don't.
No, they don't. Undertaker was better off TV. Because at least he felt like a legitimate threat. Not when he's going in the Subway shop and buying 6-foot sandwiches.
Right.
But...
Well, I feel like he would be better off as a non-TV guy.
He's a special attraction.
Special attraction, exactly. And just leave him like that.
Yep, I agree. So, I don't know, man. King's Court, again, just fucking really sending it home with the bullshit of 1994. If you've ever wanted to really pinpoint a segment that says, hey, this is all that was wrong with the early 90s in WWF, King's Court would be it. because they've done almost exclusively nothing but like corny or outplayed or just absolutely ridiculous shit on King's Court. So it didn't disappoint this week.
King's Court is turning into one of my least favorite
I fucking
segments
hate it.
like ever.
When they pan in from the arena after a commercial and I see that fucking red rug on the ring, I'm like, oh, God damn it. Fuck, we're fucked.
Yeah, it's just not delivering very well at all.
No.
Next week, though, we have a video promoting the featured match from next week's edition of Raw. Dun 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 dun. Lex Luger, bum 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 bum, taking on the Beast from the East, bum 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 bum, Bam Bam Bigelow. That's right. Next week, it's Lex Luger taking on Bam Bam Bigelow. That's a pretty big featured match, I'd say.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm not totally opposed to that because I think for once Lex is kind of fighting a guy who might be on the same plane as him. So yeah, I'm cool with that.
Well, let's not limit freaking Bam Bam Bigelow to Lex Luger.
I hate to say it, Bob, but that kind of feels like where we're at with old Bam Bam.
You're really, really starting to hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a rarity right now, and I'm gonna do a double Austin segment because I know that you appreciate these women wrestlers far more than I ever could.
Okay.
So are you able? You're gonna handle this? Here we go. Third contest: WWF Women's Champion Alundra Blaze and Heidi Lee Morgan squaring off against Bull Nakano and Luna Vachon. I want to point out that Vince McMahon, I believe, I think it's during this episode, notes how unattractive Bull Nakano truly is.
Yeah. Yeah.
On commentary on national television.
Yes. Really quick, before we get to the women here, we get an Action Zone commercial where they directly mock Mike Ditka, Deion Sanders, and other sports-related figures and talk shows. That says, WWF action's not about the talking, we're about the action. Yeah. So again, just these cheap digs to other sports. Maybe Vince is just jealous that he's not considered a sport yet and is just like trying to be like, well, fuck all the other sports. I don't know. But again, it feels just very petty and like, what is the payoff to this? Oh, that's right. There isn't one. Seeing as he literally always uses figures from other sports to enhance his programming, it makes him look really silly when he turns around and mocks their profession, basically. So yeah, that's stupid. Going into the tag team match here, Blaze and Heidi get pyro. Again, which is another thing that I like to make mention of. And Savage is talking about Roseanne Barr here on commentary and how unattractive she is. And he's telling her to eat her heart out because both Blaze and Heidi Lee Morgan are attractive. I thought Luna and Heidi matched up very well, much better than I thought. Because there were some really nice bursts of action and some moves that I wasn't expecting. Like she'll pull out a head scissors out of nowhere. Savage at one point kind of refutes Vince McMahon's comments and says, call me crazy, but I'm attracted to Bull Nakano. He says that directly. And to which I say, Randy, I feel you. Because, boy, I think so too.
Of course.
Yeah. Blaze gets the pin here, and the place came unglued. They were super invested in this. It was another solid little tag team match. And like I said before, I think the female work in 1994 is kind of like the unsung hero so far. It was crazy to see when that pin comes off, people jumping up out of their seat. Because I can't think of any other Raw match of recent memory to where that's happening. And this is 4 women in 1994 doing it. So I think it's super important, super cool. I think all these women work well together. Luna shocked the hell out of me because Luna kind of fell right into the fold. I mean, she wasn't in the ring a lot. It was mostly Bull Nakano, but at the same time, she didn't let her position drag at all, which I thought was important. So yeah, man, nothing but praise for me. Another solid women's match. Randy putting over Bull is attractive. Can't agree more. With that statement, yeah, I was totally into it. So was the crowd.
It still blows my mind just how much I'm enjoying women's wrestling here in 94. Because you fast forward to like, I don't know, what, 98, 99, just how like bad it is.
Yeah.
And even when you go into, when they really, I guess, make the division more well known in like the early 2000s, which has some pretty good stuff. But these guys, or these women, I should say, are doing top rope leg drops and bridging German suplexes. And like, as you mentioned with Heidi Lee Morgan, she's doing like nearly perfect looking head scissors.
Yeah, out of
Like
nowhere, just busting this shit out.
Yeah, and the energy compared to a lot of the other guys is just, it's not even comparable. It's just drastically different. And it's no surprise that the crowd is eating it up because arguably really behind like the Brett Owens stuff, I'd say right now, and maybe, Diesel Shawn's interactions. This is probably the third or fourth best thing that's going on television right now is when these ladies are on television.
Right. Well, you can just tell that every time they go out, they feel like they have something to prove.
Yeah.
They're motivated. That's a huge contributing factor to anything presented on WWF TV. If you got somebody who's fucking motivated, they're going to make shit happen. To have all four of these women out here motivated to like impress the crowd is fucking awesome. And it shows. So nothing but praise from me again. And I enjoyed it. I think it was a nice shot in the arm for the whole show. Yeah, man. I don't know. I really hope that they stay on this roll and incorporate maybe some more women who are going to be just as motivated as they are, because I'm into it.
Who else could they add? That's what I was thinking when I was watching the match. I mean, you have these four girls, but who else out there could they possibly add? I know like Miss Texas from USWA, who is better known as Jacqueline.
Yeah.
Would probably fit great. Right. But outside of her, at this point here in 94, as we head into 95, I really don't know who else would even be a potential option. I don't know how big of a depth there is.
Japan is huge. There's a wealth of talent.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like from an American standpoint, I'm sure Nakano has a bunch of people that she could bring in from Japan or whatever. But I mean, this is the WWF in 94 where they're probably trying to pinch some money together.
And not only that,
maintain business.
Yeah, and not only that, you got to think a big selling factor for Nakano's mystique is that she is Japanese. If they bring in 3 more Japanese girls,
you're going to dilute it.
Exactly. So I don't think that's necessarily the answer either. I'd like to think not that she's an in-ring talent at all, but if they were able to like develop woman, I think that would be cool. She's kind of a badass.
Like the manager woman?
Yeah, if they were able to like develop her and get her in the ring, I feel like that'd be cool. Yeah, she's not really the athlete though that these guys are. So I see where you're hesitant with that, but like,
yeah, I don't know if I could buy into that. I feel like she excels very well in her managerial role with anybody that she's ever been associated with.
Character-wise, yeah.
Yeah, character-wise.
Right. Yeah, man, I don't know. As far as in the ring, I feel like Blaze is kind of the top quality person. So really, it's only underneath from there as far as American scene, I would say. Because it's not really a thing. I mean, I'm even thinking like, oh, Missy Hyatt. No. Fucking Sunny. No. Like all the other girls kind of everywhere else aren't really into this shit.
There is, the more that we're talking about it, there was this one girl in the, as they call them, the After magazines, which are, Pro Wrestling Illustrated and the like. They would always promote this woman named Mad Magazine.
Okay.
Which was a larger girl, face paint. She looked like a terrifying person you'd find in the trailer park.
Okay.
And almost every time, like after, would be like, if she is maybe on the verge of coming to the WWF and taking out Alundra Blaze and be associated with like Luna Vachon or something.
Mm-hmm.
But that obviously never happened, and I had never heard of her. So even like the magazines are stretching for any woman in America, at least, to come through. So.
Right. And I don't even know. I've like never even heard of that name before, so I don't even know.
No, nobody would. Nobody would know who Mad Maxine is because it was like an After she probably paid the magazine to be like, hey, mention me every fucking publication and I'll give you this money.
Right.
I mean, that's what Jerry Lawler did. He's been open about it. Like he would pay for them to cover the USWA and like whatever. So there's a whole bunch of wrestlers that have probably done that.
Right.
So
yeah, I mean, I think the talent pool is very shallow. I think that's a very good point to make. And if they want women, they're not going to be able to pull from anywhere else. They're going to have to start making them in-house. And I think that's a very risky proposition in 1994. So I don't know, man. I think they're doing the best with what they got. And I think with what they got, they kind of have the best. So.
Well, they certainly have nothing in WCW.
So well, no. Yeah,
they do have the best of the best. That
right.
There's no debate going on there.
Yeah.
Also, that's not up for debate. Is our excitement for the returning King Kong Bundy, because we got another vignette for King Kong Bundy, and in fact, these ones are like a quick vignettes because he's already going to be in action next week on Raw. I feel like I know with Jeff Jarrett, we had like 8 or 9 weeks.
Holy fuck, yeah.
Vignettes. Even like Kwang had like at least 3.
Yeah.
Bundy gets 2, and it's like, you're already on TV, pal. Have fun.
Yeah, and this one here is he's like basically playing King Kong. So he's swatting the planes, climbing the buildings. That's what we're getting with this one. To follow, which is, I thought, a beautiful thing, is the fucking church promo again. Put your faith in us. Put your faith in us, the new generation, when we're bringing back King Kong fucking Bundy.
Yeah, we know.
Put your faith in us.
Yeah, you can believe in what we're going to do.
Yeah, so that's stupid. I'm not looking forward to King Kong Bundy. Again, I just don't think he has very much to offer us in 1994. Don't even know who he could feud with, like what effect he would have on the roster. Like I really don't see the point. I don't see the payoff. I don't see the point.
The point is that King Kong Bundy is going to spike the business because he is a huge star from the 80s and he wrestled Hogan once.
If he isn't with Ted DiBiase, they're fucking up.
He would seem like the perfect fit.
Yeah, like that's where he needs to go.
You know what? I wouldn't mind that, to be honest with you. We get footage from December 26, 1983, where Iron Sheik defeated Bob Backlund to win the WWF World Championship. Of course, a towel was thrown in on behalf of Backlund, ending the near 6-year reign for Bob Backlund. That leads us to our final match of the evening, which is Mr. Bob Backlund taking on Gary Scott. And as expected, Backlund wins the match with the chicken wing submission. I'm sure that he's not really doing much of anything for us in terms of action-wise, but his character is growing on me, and it's been kind of growing on you as well. What did you take here of Bob Backlund in the main event?
The only thing I didn't really like was that like the awkward amateur wrestling spots where Gary Scott was getting the better of Bob Backlund.
Like, what was up with that?
I don't fucking buy that.
That's Bob Backlund's background.
Literally.
And he's getting taken advantage of Gary Scott. It's phenomenal.
No, yeah, I thought that was absolutely ridiculous that he was like able to out amateur wrestle Bob Backlund for a couple holds and a couple switches. Yeah. Like, no, I don't buy that. Bob's doing his whoa thing again when he's getting the better of somebody, which I just find supremely fucking annoying. And I'll tell you why. So he gets the chicken wing in, he wins immediately. The guy taps out immediately, and he holds it on after the bell. it doesn't get a reaction. The finish got no reaction. I don't even know if the crowd knew that the guy fucking lost or cared, because they just didn't do anything.
I don't know if they know how to take Bob Backlund yet.
I don't think they do. I feel like they know that
that's what
he's
the
a
hang-up
dick.
is.
I feel like they know he's a dick because they'll chant like has been and shit at him. But when it comes to like actually cheering or booing the guy, I feel like they don't know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just, in the ring, man, it kills it for me. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, like let's give this a try. And then I'm like, nope. Like, what was I fucking thinking? Because as soon as it's in the ring, man, I don't give a fuck. So that's the only like bummer about it. But again, I'm still interested to see what this whole fucking payoff is going to be. What is the what is the end goal for Bob Backlund's fucking heel run snapped crazy former champion in 1994? Like, I don't know. I don't know where we're going with this, and that kind of interests me. The fact that it's unpredictable. I don't fucking know. Is he going to win the belt from Bret Hart? Who the fuck knows?
No. Watching it as it's playing out, there's no way. There's no. If Bob Backlund were to win the WWF World Championship and even hold it for like a month, that would just contradict everything that you're doing.
Well, they haven't shied away from that at all with the guys they're bringing back. So,
well, you're right, but it's just, I don't know, man. I can't wrap my head around all these people that they're bringing in. What they should be doing is bring in like Sabu and bring in like Chris Benoit or like Too Cold Scorpio or like all these young guys, but they're just going back to people from 10 to 15 years ago.
yeah, and it's funny you mentioned that because they always put 1, 2, 3 Kid over as like this innovator and like, oh, this is the new generation. You can go get 10 1, 2, 3 Kids right now, and they can all be on your show. But they're not doing that.
Could you imagine like Sabu and 1, 2, 3 Kid at like WrestleMania 11?
It'd be insane.
You'd be like losing your mind. Instead, we're going to get like King Kong Bundy against the British Bulldog.
Probably.
Or something like that. Just a random. No, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, that's why, man. I don't know. The direction we're going in is a very confusing one. I feel like they're not committed to anything that's going on right now. They're just throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks.
That's why I wouldn't be surprised if Bob Backlund by like November was gone. Because they could just be like, it wasn't working out. So we said, we moved on.
I could see that.
And that's something that I'm used to because with, watching Memphis, they could be pushing a guy for 2 weeks. And then he's gone.
Yeah.
He's in Florida. It's like, what? Yeah. What? You guys just had him like throw fire in Jerry Lawler's face and now he's in freaking Florida? What are you talking about? It makes no sense. Yeah. I can see that transpiring in this era of WWF, just dropping it because it's just not working.
Yeah, and they've proved that already. They'll move guys around, drop angles, switch shit up. I mean, look at Adam Bomb.
Right.
Look at a whole list of guys where they've either like dropped the ball and just forgotten about it, no payoff to a feud, all that shit. So like, yeah, that wouldn't shock me in the slightest, but at the same time, it's crazy to me that I'm invested to see this whole angle through, a fucking Bob Backlund angle. They did something. Because, like, I'm interested in seeing that. Yeah. So, I don't know. We'll see, but my hopes aren't very high. Put it that way.
I just hope he's not the world champion ever.
I'm afraid, man.
Because then I'll just be like, you should have put the belt on him at WrestleMania 9. Like, why did we wait a whole year? It makes no sense. Vince McMahon and Randy Savage hype up next week's show, and then we go backstage to WWF World Champion Bret Hart. He's talking about Bob Backlund. Hart thinks that Backlund has lost his mind, and he says that Backlund was telling Hart that Backlund was, in fact, the real champion. So just imagine that conversation where Backlund's like, that's my belt, and Bret's like, no, dude, no, I won it. You lost it back in 1983. Imagine how that one probably played out. Actually, you could imagine it because you saw it on television. Hart mentions that he already has beaten Backlund, which is true, back in July, and doesn't know what Backlund is talking about. So basically, Bob Backlund's being presented as the elderly man who has lost his mind, and now you feel bad for him.
Because Brett's like, yeah, I don't know. He's a fucking nut.
Yeah, it's like, it's a fine. Grandpa's insane. He doesn't understand, anything that's going on in the world. So if he says something super offensive, he thinks it's 1960. It's fine. Don't worry about it. In this case, it's Bob Backlund, where it's like he thinks he's the WWF World Champion. This is a storyline they should do today. Bob Backlund coming out.
Oh my God.
I got fucked over fucking 40 years ago. This is bullshit. Roman Reigns, get your ass out here, or whoever. Brock Lesnar, you son of a bitch. I'll take you out right now.
Brock Lesnar, Bob Backlund, WrestleMania in Tampa.
Sign me up, man. I'm telling you. That would be
fuck
so great. Like, come on.
That'd be some funny shit.
I think it would be terrific. Like, how do you not do that?
That'd be fun. That would be some funny shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's lukewarm at best for me. I feel like they're really trying to make it work. And like on some avenues it is, on a lot more avenues it isn't. So I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens. They do promote that, next week's featured match is Bam Bam taking on Lex, which again, we'll see what happens. I don't hate that. And I will say that this episode of Raw seemed to kind of fly by. The Yoko stuff was hokey. Cornette did what he could with it. Bulldog looked okay, not great by any means. Still fuck doink, and I'm still just unsure on how to feel about this whole Bob Backlund thing, and basically Bob being Brett's main concern in 1994. Just feels super out of place, weird, especially because the Owen Brett thing is still unsolved. Brett's in the middle of like 3 different feuds, it feels like, between him and Diesel, him and Owen, and him and Bob Backlund. Like, what the fuck is going on? There's no linear spot for Bret Hart right now, which I think is weird. And I think the weirdest thing of all, fucking King Kong Bundy is being heavily promoted as returning to the promotion. Fucking A. If they haven't learned their lesson from Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Hey, Valentine got over.
Rick Martel.
All right, I'll give
Tugboat,
yeah.
And a whole slew of other motherfuckers who they tried to return from the 80s and nobody gave a fuck. What do they plan to accomplish with King Kong Bundy? I don't know, folks. We are in to see, because I'm sure it's going to surprise the hell out of me and be like, why the fuck are they doing this? Because I think that's the only thing they're going to be able to do with King Kong Bundy. So that was my opinion on the episode. Bob, where are you at?
So I'll say this. It was better than the last, probably handful.
Yeah.
And a lot of that has to do with the women's match.
Mm-hmm.
Again, just back August 1st or whatever, Nakano and Blaze had a really good match. Which I think was maybe the last time we saw them on TV. As Sarah's falling asleep. Thank you. I'm glad I'm making you tired. But yeah, I mean, Neidhart and Bulldog, was it dreadful? No. But
No.
they're bigger names than Drosy and Lawler. You're not gonna be snoozed out of it.
Right.
So I'll consider it an average episode, I guess. But in terms of storylines and stuff, I think it's safe to say I'm very disconnected from a lot of what they're doing.
I agree.
And it's kind of a bummer because, when we record again 2 episodes next week, I'm actually going to be really happy to have a break for a little bit from having to watch this, because if I had to keep on doing this to Survivor Series, our live watch of Survivor Series would be me just being pissed off.
Yeah.
Because the television leading into this has not been very good. To a point where I'm praising an average episode at best right now compared to what I've seen the last 5 weeks.
And I think that's absolutely true. And if I think about it right now, I think this has been the hardest stretch for us since we started. This is the most burnt out that I think I've felt, just because it's consistently, if not middle of the road, 6 feet under. And that's a
100%.
bummer because so far it's been so smooth sailing and we're finally hitting some rough waters. And I'm surprised it took us this long. I mean, we've had lulls before where it's like nothing's really going on. We're just plodding along. But it's been rough. It's been a rough couple of weeks. So I'm just ready to, I think, like you said, to get our next 2 episodes under our belt, get even closer to Survivor Series, knock Survivor Series out, and get into 95. We're kind of in the same spot where we were in 93, where it was just like, okay, 93 has been cool, but like, let's get into 1994. I'm starting to get that itch again with 95. I'm like, okay, 94 has been cool. Probably a little bit better than 93, maybe.
Yeah.
But fuck, man, I'm ready for 95. Because I feel like by 95, they're finally able to get their foothold in the door as far as the new generation and kind of put the pedal to the metal. I think 95 changes a lot of things.
I think the first quarter of 95, you can tell that a lot of these guys that they brought in, so by like April, like a lot of these guys that they're bringing in now are long gone by April 95, or like they're gone. And you're getting a new wave of talent, which is when they should have been doing right now.
Yes.
And I think that's why a lot of people see 95 the way that it is, because it's so many different like new guys that are coming in. Because I'll say this until I can't anymore, that 95 isn't as bad as people make it out to be.
Right. And
they had some bad decisions for sure, but I don't think it's as bad. On a weekly basis, I don't think it's as bad.
Well, and that's the thing, because on the surface, and we've talked about this before, on the surface, me not knowing really much of anything, I picture 95 as the worst year of WWF.
Right.
And I think that's most fans, because they haven't gone out of their way to watch it. There's not enough, glaring things to pull them in. So I think for me, just not giving it a proper chance, similar to 93 and 94, but more so, I'm looking forward to be proven wrong. And I hope that I am. So I am. I'm looking forward to 95. I think 94 has been a solid year, but man, we're really not closing out on a strong note, because it's been a struggle. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think 95 is going to be the most fun that we've had.
Yeah. And
really
it's mind blowing, because this is the year of Brett and Owen.
Yeah.
And yet still they're fucking it up.
Well, because mostly everything underneath it hasn't been very good.
Yeah, it's mind blowing. So,
and the fact that they're moving away from Brett Owens so quickly to Brett Neidhart.
Horrible.
Yeah, like nobody wants to deal with that. So.
No.
Well, I mean, I'm glad everybody keeps on dealing with us and our ramblings and I guess overall hatred right now for the World Wrestling Federation in 1994. Austin, you have anything else here for episode 94?
We're on to bigger and better things, and I think we'll both benefit for the break, and I am looking forward to actually sitting down in your presence, Bob, and recording with you again pretty soon. So if nothing else, we'll still be here each and every Monday for you. We're not going anywhere. And hopefully you guys have enjoyed 94 episodes of Audio Gold, because despite weeks like this, it feels like we're accomplishing something. So I'll take that as a win in the win column.
Like I told you off the air, I'm just surprised that we're getting close to 100 episodes. I know that we're over technically because we have bonus episodes and whatever, but 100 episodes of the original IcoPod series. I would have been lying to you if I said when we started that we would last 100 episodes.
Dude, no, I would have thought no way.
And technically, I could at episode 99 be like, dude, I'm done. And you'd be like, no, man, one more. No, I'm not showing up. Not doing
Yeah.
it. I'm done. And just be like, we're gonna end it at 99. So
Well, for me, I think realistically, when we started, I know when we started, we were talking about the Monday Night Wars. But at
Right.
the same time, I figured us being who we were, completionists, I figured we'd get through 93, take a break and be like, oh, yeah, we'll be back for 94, and then just probably never do 94. That's what I figured what would happen. We haven't taken a break since we fucking started. We haven't missed a week since we started, and that's something that I take great pride in.
I do too.
And I think it's very impressive for a little hobby for two guys who are 1,200 miles apart. So
I agree with completely. I feel like I wouldn't want to take a long sabbatical because I feel like we just wouldn't come back.
no, yeah. And the whole thing is too, I like being that something like Jason or Mike Campbell or Ian or any of those guys can count on Monday. You know, I
Right.
appreciate that because they're not the only ones listening, obviously.
Yeah. You know what? We're not like the bigger podcast where, some weeks we'll give you a best of.
No.
No. We give you original content each and every Monday. We don't sucker you into a new episode and then tell you here's a best of our last 5 episodes. No. No.
And we're not only watching the big shows. We're
Yeah.
watching everything.
We're watching the shows that literally took place in casino ballrooms in front of 800 fans.
Right.
So
there you go. That's the difference between us and anybody else. Consistency, dedication, and a couple of mistimed, not tasteful jokes. Every once in a while.
Yeah, maybe I should make a best of those.
We
that
could.
That would be like a 2-parter.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we've done some pretty bad stuff. That's okay.
Yeah.
You could even say that the entire IcoPod run has been just terrible. But you know what? Who's really
Distasteful.
really to say? Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
All right, Austin, you got anything else here for episode 94, or are we gonna wrap this sucker up?
I say for episode 94, it would be distasteful to continue. Let's get out of here.
All right then. For Austin Skinner, I'm Bob Conley Jr., and this has been IcoPod.
You gotta hear it.